Hey guys, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to learn how to play Just Breathe by Pearl Jam. Now this uses a picking pattern called Travis picking. And I'm going to show you the picking pattern first. And then we have about 3 sections of the song, which is basically going to be doing that same picking pattern throughout. But we're going to be obviously changing the chords that we're doing with, and it has little melody notes on top. But we do have a couple endings to talk about too, but we'll get to it. So let's start with the picking pattern first. Let's just start here on the 4 middle strings holding a C major chord. Alright, so the picking pattern that you're going to be using through this, it's used a lot. You'll hear it used in Dust in the Wind by Kansas. You'll hear John Lennon uses it a lot. A lot of people use it. So we're going to pick the thumb on the 5th string, and then we're going to pick the 2nd string with your middle finger. Now pick those together. Then the thumb is going to move over to the D string and pick that, and then your index finger will hit the open G. So we have, so repeat that a little bit. Alright, now the second half of the pattern is you're going to just pick every note individually. So you're going to pick the 5th string first, then the 2nd string, then the 4th string with the thumb as well, and then the open G string with your index. So every finger was still playing the same string. So we have, an 8th note to begin it, and then 2 16th notes, and a group of 4 16th notes. So that's like 1 E and 2 E and So when you hit the 2 notes together, it's a little bit of a longer, but it's held twice as long, and all the other ones are played straight through. Alright, so when you get that pattern up to speed, sounds really cool. Sounds like the thumb is just basically moving in 8th notes, playing the bass line. So it's a pretty cool effect. So now we're going to take that, we're going to start, that was the very beginning actually of this intro, is the verse as well. So we have, that's the first thing in the song. Then put your pinky here on the high E string. And you can do the same picking pattern, but instead of that note on the B string, it's on the high E now. So the picking pattern is all the same, except your middle finger is playing the high E string. Simple enough, so we just move that finger over and place that finger there at the 3rd fret. Then we're going to do the same picking pattern. We're just going to have that E string open. So we have this now. So far we have this. Alright, now we have this little maneuver that sounds like this. Now this happens, he kind of does this every other time. I'll show you the other variation he does right at this one part. But this is in just 1 and 2, and these are in 8th notes. So these are relatively slow, but there's a kind of a jump, so it makes it a little difficult. So you're still playing that C there. Just have your 3rd finger here on the high E. You're going to pick the 5th string and the high E string together with your thumb and middle, and then the B string with your index, and then shift up and grab the 3rd fret with your 1st finger here, and then your pinky is going to get the 5th fret on the high E. You can hit those 2 notes together again, and this time you hit an open G after it. So we have this. Alright, now you're going to hear this, he sings over this part too. This part acts as the verse. When he's singing, he'll go back and forth between doing this little maneuver or just holding the chord. So you have the chord there, the 1st C major with that 3rd fret on the high E string, and then just doing that picking pattern on it. So that's just that same picking pattern we did before with the melody note on the high E string. So he'll go back and forth between those two. So this way, the new way sounds like this. Right here. All right. So just letting you know that's going to be there. Those are variation that he does. Now we move over here to continue the riff. We're going to have it's a G chord, so it's a low E string, 3rd fret, and then your pinky at the 3rd fret on the B string. So same picking pattern. The strings we're picking now are the 6th string, 4th, open D, open G, and the B. So now the thumb's got to kind of jump over a string. See there? So it's the exact same pattern, but like I said, we have to play some different strings from time to time. Then we're going to move up your pinky up to the 5th fret here, that's on the 2nd string, and replace your 3rd finger with your 1st finger here on the 3rd fret on the low E string. Same picking pattern. Then back down to the previous chord. So we have alright, and we're going to end this verse by going. So that's just the kind of slow it down back to 8th notes here. So we have the 3rd fret on the low E with the B string open. Those together, then you follow that with an open G string. Then put your pinky on the 3rd fret on the B string and do the exact same thing. Followed by an open G. Alright, so that takes care of the verse, the intro and the verse. Then we get to basically the A minor section. Sounds like this. I'll kind of slow it down a bit. So you might want to do that without the little flub in there. So we have an A minor chord. Now we're the same picking pattern on the 4 middle strings, just on an A minor. Simple enough. Now the melody note is on the high E string again. So we have, you're going to put your 3rd finger there on the 3rd fret. The rest of the picking pattern is the same. Then the high E string open. Then back to the 3rd fret. So all together so far. Alright, then we're going to go to an F major chord. Alright, so this F major, just a bar here across the 1st and 2nd strings. 1st fret, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then 3rd fret on the 4th string there. So now we're doing the picking pattern here on these top 4 strings. Then put your 3rd finger down at your pinky at the 3rd fret on the high E string. Then lift it up again. Now, so this is the first time in this A minor section. We're at the ending now. So when you're doing that F, the first time he ends it like this. Okay, so what that is you go up to that melody note on the 3rd fret, then back down to the 1st fret. Do the picking pattern once with it. And then you just go back to the slower 8th note rhythm. You're picking the 3rd fret and the 4th string and the high E string together. Then the B string, so you still get the F in your hand. Then you can lift your 1st finger up and then do the same. Pick the 4th string and the high E string together again, which is open now, and then this 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So we have. Alright, all of the times with this A minor section, he doesn't end it like that. He just ends it with the straight up to the 3rd fret melody, then back, and then then back to the 3rd fret. All right, so there are little variations. Usually the first time he's playing something, he does it different than he does the rest of the song. All right, now we have the 3rd and final part of the song to learn. It sounds like this. I'll slow it down. All right, so a lot of the same picking pattern here. We're going to start with this G, and the pattern we're going to be doing on it is the same pattern, but it's going to be played on the first 3 strings and the low 6th string. So it's kind of a jump with your thumb to jump from the 6th string to the open G, but it looks like this. So you see the 4 strings that I'm playing there. It's always 4 strings you're doing this on. You just got to know which one they are. So you're going to do that pattern twice. Then go to this D minor chord. Alright, so the D minor chord, 1st fret on the high E string, 3rd fret on the B, 2nd fret on the G string with the open D. Now you have those 4 strings, so you just do the picking pattern there twice. Alright, so now repeat those, the G to the D minor. Alright, so you did the G to the D minor twice. Now you go to the F, do the pattern twice there. Alright, same picking pattern. Then the A minor. So hold an A minor chord, the picking pattern is going to be played on the open, the 5th string and the top 3 strings. Do that twice. So far, the G to the D minor, back to the G, back to the D minor, out of the F, play the pattern twice. A minor, pattern twice. Alright, now we're going to go back to the D minor. You play the pattern once, then you're going to, instead of the open D string being in the bass, now you're going to have the, you move your 3rd finger here to the 3rd fret on the 5th string. So now the string, the note, the bottom string is the 5th string, and you're still playing the top 3 strings on the pattern, because it's still, you know, I got the D minor up there. So we have alright, now we're going to move this 3rd fret down to the 2nd fret. In order to do that, we have to pick the 3rd finger up and put the 2nd finger over here on the 2nd fret on the 5th string and move the 3rd finger to where that one was. And then do the picking pattern twice. Alright, so from when we got to the F chord, I'll just kind of go through it. After the G to D minor twice, we get to this F. Alright, now we're going to end it with that little 8th note rhythm. We're going to... Now, on the recording, like the background, the orchestras or whatever are really loud here. So this is kind of what he does live, so we're kind of taking his word for it. So this part's really hard to hear on the original recording. We have the 6th string here at the 3rd fret, 3rd fret on the B string. Hit those 2 strings together, and then the open G string. So you get those together, and then we're going to go to the high E string open with that low G, then the open G together. So we have this. Then 1st fret on the high E, back to the open G, then the open string again. So we're always going back to this open G, and the bass note's always this 3rd fret here on the low E string. So we have, that takes you back to the first riff we learned. So you kind of go through all that, and then you pay attention to the different endings we have. At the very end of the song, he ends the song with the A minor section. Right back to the A minor again, so he kind of extends that part, goes back to the A minor. It's kind of doing it twice as long. Except now, halfway through this F part, the second time playing through the A minor section at the end, he just kind of dies out the picking pattern and then just strum the F major chord. Just really, really lightly. And that's about it. So he kind of ends it in the middle of nowhere. But it's a pretty cool effect. And it's a nice song, and it's a great right-hand picking workout. So get this pattern down first, and then start lining up the chords and kind of following along with what we're doing in this lesson. You might want to, tap it out or whatever. Just give yourself a little chord chart or whatever, so you know where it's going. But after you get these down, they repeat a lot. So, and of course the pattern is very repetitive. So as soon as you get in the groove of it, it's pretty easy to get it up to speed. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. I'll be back again soon for GuitarLessons365.com. Bye bye.